Well, hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me today at noon on this Ides of March here in, 2022. So I'm Kristen Ford. I am the host of Running a Holistic Office, and I come to you twice a month now on Tuesdays at noon to talk about all the different things that go into running your practice and how to make that a holistic office, right? So, again, I want to just tell you a little bit about myself. Like I said here, I'm kind of running this on my own again this week and kind of getting used to all of it again, and it's all good, right? Um, but I wanted to, tell you all a little bit about myself and what running a holistic office is. So I'm Kristen Ford. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Holistic Office, and we have an electronic health records management system that was designed for independent practitioners, just like you all who tune in and listen to me when you have the time. But we designed this electronic health record management system for independent practitioners to better manage their practice. And really, the impetus behind all of this is to have something that's easy to use, because I think you guys spend an awful lot of time on systems that cost you a lot of money, are difficult to use, and you spend a lot of time maybe learning, retraining, or just not using your EHR to the max, and an optimized way. So we designed Holistic Office to really help streamline those operations. And part of that streamlining operations is your EHR is the center of your practice, but there's all these other things that go into running a practice. And so we started running a holistic office to talk about all of the things that go into running a busy practice and small business, which so many of us do, including us. So, I tend to usually talk about finances and financials, all of which are super important, by the way. It is the middle of the month, the Ides of March, you say, and so you should be closing your books. But and I'm in the process of doing that myself, and we're going to get back on track to talking about financials pretty soon. But a lot of things kind of came to me today when I was first of all sitting in the assistant principal's office at my son's high school to try to talk about why he just doesn't want to do school anymore, right? And this whole idea of motivation kind of came about, and I was looking at the date, and I'm like, wow, it's the Ides of March, and for those of you that don't know, basically Julius Caesar was murdered by these senators in Rome back in 44 BC because he turned Rome into a dictatorship, right? And I just thought to myself, wow, here we are almost 2,000 years later and still dealing with dictatorships. And, maybe this is more relevant today than we think it is. Yeah, you never know. So I'm thinking about all this heavy stuff, and I'm like, so what does motivate people, right? Why am I sitting in this office today and listening to my 16-year-old son just say, I don't want to do this anymore, and and for full disclosure here, I was not a fan of high school. This is nothing to do with the people who work there and teach, and I think that people do an admirable job, but I was never a fan of high school either, and I was reflecting, on his particular situation today, and being in school during a pandemic and other personal things that he's going through, and trying to figure out, what it is that he wants. And my son in particular has always been one of these kind of, big thinkers, right? Kind of maybe And so he's the first person to just be like, I don't get it. Why are we doing this? And so he just kind of stops doing things altogether, and because he doesn't have enough of a big picture yet to look past, the end of his nose and the end of the school year, right? I started thinking about this, and I was like, we all struggle with motivation. So, what motivates you? I know for a lot of the practitioners that we work with and help, that motivation is helping people, reclaim their lives, right? I know for me personally, I recently went through, a pretty intensive restructuring of how I live my life, to take care of my health, and working with my functional doctor was definitely a life changer for me. And he's got to get some motivation from that, some gratitude from that, right? And when I read in the news and I see, with all the companies that I still work with and interact with, that people are working, their motivations have changed. And whether that's an existential thing that comes with being part of a pandemic, or just really the reality of that things can be different. Do we really are we really motivating people to work for us by saying, hey, if you're not here 50 hours a week and you're not part of our big work family, then you just aren't good enough. And I think there's a backlash on that. I think there's some pushback on that. And so there's all these articles, right? So what motivates you, and what motivates workers? How do you get people to work for you? And is it perks? Is it money? And I thought to my own self, what motivates me, right? And so I just thought, let's take a few minutes and take a step back and really think about that. And I don't have any great answers. I don't have any deep insight or any of that. I only know what I feel, and I'm motivated by external things too. Everybody wants more money and sometimes things, or experiences that you need money to have. And so I think that's always partly a motivator. But I've found, dealing with my son and my kids getting older, and all the next chapter in my own life that's coming up, about what really motivates me as well. I've always liked to work. I've always worked a lot. And I'm finding, as I get older and more experienced, that the work's always there, right? So what's really motivating me these days? And so I'm finding, I'm trying to work a little bit more smart, right? And only work on the things I want to work on. And I know that sounds like a really privileged thing, but we can all find work and be paid for things that motivate us and that we enjoy. And that's what I'm working on. So it's not like I've got this company here and I'm like, well, I don't want to do marketing today, so I just don't do it. I'm motivated by having my own company, by being my own boss, right? But I'm also motivated by spending time with my family, right? And the kind of the roller coaster that my son's gone through for school, it seemed to have impacted him in many, many ways. And so now when he comes home and he's like, Mom, are you still working, right? Yeah, I kind of want to watch a movie. Guess what? I stop working and I go watch a movie with him. And I realize that, all of this work and everything that we try to do for employees and for ourselves and for our customers and everything, it's all super important. But at the end of the day, it's that balance in life that motivates me. And it's feeling like I'm helping my employees and vendors and customers. That's my motivation, and it's changing all the time, it seems like. And I'm starting to just get more clarity on all of that. And so I bring to you all, what is it's motivating you? And is it helping others? Is it just the money? Right. Yeah. So anyways, I encourage everybody to kind of think about that a little bit, and see how that's impacting your life, and impacting your practice, and impacting all the people around you, right? It might seem like kind of a weird thing to just kind of stop and think about, but I think it's pretty important, So when we add in our motivation, right, suddenly all these other things that I like to talk about, such as closing our books and putting our processes in place, and cool apps and gadgets to help streamline, businesses, which I'm always actively, doing and working on, and trying to be thoughtful about. Um, y you know, I think that this is all it all impacts, all of these different things, right? And so if your motivation is only money, you might not have the same results that you want. You might not be getting the customers you might want. Maybe your employees aren't as satisfied as you might want. If your motivation is only helping people, sometimes that can lead to really happy customers, but it can also lead into burnout, right? It can also lead to not making enough money to stay in business, right? So it's finding that balance, finding that motivator that keeps us going from day to day, and also motivates us to do well by others, and to try to see things in a different light. Geez, the last time I met with you all, I think, I don't even know that we were really witnessing a new war, right? I mean, so, geez, times change and they can change on a dime. And so sometimes that motivation is really important, so, when I was leaving my son today, I think he'd finally found that he's, what was important to him, and I think it came before this meeting, and he'd already started turning things around to get a little bit more motivated and get his work done, and so I was really pleased for that, for him, and for the fact that he's going to move forward here. But it really just kind of also drove home to me that it's a choice that we make. What motivates us and what makes us do what we do is really our choice. And I think that the more we spend time and think about those things, I think the more successful we're going to be, not just in business, but also in life. So on this kind of a esoteric, I guess, show today, I, just want to encourage everybody to take a minute and think about the things that motivate you, and to reach for the things that make you happy and make you successful, and helps uplift the people around you. Because when you're uplifted and you're doing better, it naturally uplifts the people who are all around you. And I wish that for everybody, that that I come across, and just in general, right? It's a good place to be. So, so I'm going to, leave you today with, with those thoughts, and hope that you all are, enjoying March, whether you're in the Northeast and buried in snow, or you're here in sunny Southern California, and, kind of a summer type day, wherever you are, take a minute and give yourself some grace. Think about where you are and where you want to be. Say thanks if you need to say thanks, and clean house if you need to clean house, right? And then I guess we can all get back to work, right? It's always some work involved. So, with that, I'm going to leave you, with a message of gratitude and thanks for, listening to, these little shows that we come up with here. And I hope that some of these things are helpful for you. If you are in the middle of your financials, and you're a little stuck on things, just remember you've got four important reports that can help you to manage your practice every single month, and that with your processes are really going to help you succeed and be profitable. So whether or not you are working on next month or the current month or closing out last month, I hope it's successful for you, And if there's any way that I can be of help, please let me know, and like always, please like us on Facebook and connect with me on LinkedIn. Love meeting new people, new folks, and hopefully we can help you be successful not only using our software but also with some of the other tips and tricks and things that I've learned over the past 20 plus years of consulting with practices and small businesses just like yours. So, with that, I'm going to wish you all a terrific day. And it sounds like our friend Daisy here is coming in to visit us. I don't know if you can hear the clicking in the background, but she's here. And so I will leave you and wish you all a great couple weeks. We'll see you that first Tuesday in April. And have a great day.